So I've noticed that a lot of people keep asking me about how I have the amount of gold that I have, and today I thought I'd just share the few ways that I make my gold. The two professions I have are tailoring and enchanting, and they help maximize the gold that I make, but they aren't required. Some of these might be common knowledge, but this is what I do and it works pretty well for me. So with all that being said, let's get into the first technique. Running old content is a really good way to make gold, specifically the Cataclysm raids. Put simply, you set the raids to 25-man heroic, kill all the bosses, loot the gold and all the epics, and vendor the ones you don't need or want. You can also try to sell the BOE epics or blues on the auction house if you want. If you have no professions, you'll still make over 5,000 gold per week in raw gold without auctions if you run all the raids on 25-man heroic. To maximize gold, however, if you have tailoring and enchanting, it will increase the amount of cloth that you will get from each raid by a lot. And you can disenchant the green pieces of armor for hypnotic dust, but don't disenchant the weapons. Vendor those because the essences are essentially worth nothing, and that's all that you will get from the weapons 90% of the time. You can then turn the cloth into bolts and combine that with the dust to make ember silk bags, which you can then sell in the auction house. This is one of the more well-known ways to make gold, and I've been doing it since Wall of Adrenal came out, and it works pretty well. Vanilla, BC and Wrath raids also give some good gold too. From Molten Core, you can loot the blood of the mountain from the big molten destroyers, which sell for a lot. There are also pets that drop in there. From Blackwing Lair, there are also pets that sell in there too. Ruins of Ahn'Qiraj and Temple of Ahn'Qiraj, however, always give me the most in terms of item value, but it involves a lot of use of the auction house. In 2 lockouts of full clearing both of these raids, I've gotten 2 transmog pieces worth over 20,000 gold, and another one worth over 10,000. Transmog takes a lot of time to sell, but it does sell eventually, so you have to be really patient for that. I haven't found a way to make extra gold in vanilla raids with enchanting or tailoring yet, but if and when I do, I will let you all know. Burning Crusade raids are up next, and it is worth running each raid except Gruul's Lair and Magtheridon's Lair, as they will probably get you about 50 gold each and have no valuable item drops. Each other raid has pets worth a lot of gold which you can sell in the auction house, and occasionally rare BOE items such as enchant formulas for twink enchants, like Boar's Speed, which drop, can sell quite highly. If you are a tailor, you can turn the netherweave cloth into bolts, and turn those into bags and sell those on the auction house. If you are an enchanter, you can make more gold by creating mongoose enchants. These sell for around 800 gold each on my server. Disenchant the greens, blues and epics you loot from the bosses to get materials for it. The material that you're going to have the least of is the blue material, the shards, and these can be created by shattering 1 void crystal into 2 of these shards. This recipe can be bought from the reputation vendor in the Isle of Quel'Danas, and it requires you to be honoured with them to buy it. Now for the Wrath of the Lich King raids, you basically just need to run each raid, vendor the epics you don't need, and auction any BOE items if you think they'll sell. Good farm to run, again as a tailor and enchanter, but also good if you don't have these professions, is to run through the Pit of Sauron, pull everything, kill it all and loot it. You'll get quite a good amount of frostweave cloth and green items. Disenchant the green items into dust and make bolts with the frostweave cloth. Then you combine the dust with the bolts to create imbued frostweave, and then you use that to make frostweave bags. Also, this dungeon drops the battered hilt, which can sell for quite a lot. Now, shifting away from raids, let's talk about making gold through PvP. If you have excess honor and you don't have enchanting, you can go to your capital city's legacy weapon vendor in either Stormwind or Orgrimmar and buy the brutal gladiators mutilators. Wait 2 hours and then vendor these. 1 cap will earn you about 700 to 800 gold. Now for the next way, this requires enchanting, but the skill doesn't need to be very high. I think it's around 200. You instead buy this item worth 55 honor and then disenchant it to get a larger shard. On my server, these sell between 30 to 45 gold each. I usually sell them at around 37 gold each, and 1 honor cap gets me around 2.7 thousand gold from doing this little trick. Also, in my time, I have completed the Shadowmourne quest chain twice, and at the end of this chain you get 5 items, which are a few toys, a tabard and a mount. If you have a warrior, paladin or death knight, I highly recommend doing this quest chain and completing it, and then you can sell these items for a lot. I've done it twice, and overall I've earned around 300,000 gold from it, and all it takes is doing Icecrown Citadel once a week. Where is all that gold now, you might ask? I bought a friend a Spectral Tiger for Christmas. And that is everything that I do to earn gold at the moment. I highly suggest saving up as much gold as you can before the next expansion comes out, so you can all spoil yourselves with all the new cool stuff that will come out, and show Illidan who's boss by being prepared. Hope you all make good use of these tips, and if you have any success with them, let me know in the comment. Have a good one, everyone. See yas.